Preparing for the film, did you know anything about the Hotshots or even that kind of realm of firefighting?
Not really. I'd heard about the Yarnell Hill fire, but I didn't know many of the details, and I didn't really know much about how hotshot crews work and how they fight fires before.
Did you learn quite a bit from your experience?
I did, reading about what happened and reading about this crew, and then speaking with Amanda and other people who had been involved. It was really informative for me, and shined a light on something that I hadn't known about before.
I read that you grew up in New York. Was it a transition for you to play a character that was a rancher from Prescott, Arizona, or did you kind of already have an inclination for that?
I had very little experience with horses before doing the film. I grew up in New York City, but also upstate New York in the country, and it's a very different kind of countryside, but it is still, living in nature and hiking and being in the mountains, and a lot of those things that Amanda really loves, I love as well. Camping, hiking, those sorts of things. The horses I had, as I mentioned, I had very little experience with, so it was important to me to train and to work hard to try and represent her well and her beautiful horsemanship as best as I could, because it's a big part of her life.
Well, you looked very natural.
Thank you.
What did you find different about portraying an actual person rather than a character, and which do you prefer?
I like both. Both are really interesting. This was an amazing experience. I have a lot of admiration for Amanda, and it was just, and it was wonderful and invaluable to have her there and to have her support and to have her contribution, and to be able to ask her questions. So that was a great experience.
How much time did you spend with Amanda to learn about her?
Well, I spent some time talking to her. I had some long conversations over the phone with her before I went out to Santa Fe, where we shot. And then when I got there, during the whole pre-production, she was there. So I guess that was, 10 days or something, a week, 10 days. And I spent a good deal of time with her. She would come over to the house where I was staying, and we'd talk, or she would come out with me when I was doing my riding practice and ride with me, and help me work with the horses, getting them to lie down, or showing me how to work with her tools on the trimming, because there's a moment where I do that in the film as well.
Would you prefer to take another role where you got to be out in the country and with horses again?
I love traveling. I love playing different characters. I love being in different environments. So, sure, absolutely. I had a little run-in with the horse, and a little accident where I got thrown off. So that was a bit jarring. But I did get back up and back in the proverbial saddle, as they say, and shoot that. So I could probably manage to do that again.